All right, go for it.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. When you are tired of listening to Main Street drivel and fear, you turn to El Guerilla and El Cuco. The Guerilla and Cuco will give you the news with all the views that's important to you. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And with that being said, folks, it's me, the Girl Economist. Merry Christmas to all of you out there. I am back. I am back. I am back, and I'm on the attack. And all the mainstream idiots better watch their back. With that being said, I'm flying with my main man, El Cuco, aka CJ, the producer extraordinaire, working the airwaves, and flying with me on this tandem mission to boldly go where no men have ever gone before, and that is into the belly of the beast and bringing you back some incredible information, breaking down some great news for you guys, and getting you guys set up for this upcoming new year. I can't believe the year's almost over, Siege. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I mean, where did 2017 go?
Dude, I blinked and it was over. And it's, this Christmas, dude, I don't know about you, but we actually had a white Christmas in New York.
We did too. Yeah, we had like 2.5, 3 inches, and now it's like
same
wind chill minus like 5, 10 below. It's freezing out.
Oh, dude, it's same here. But the fact that we had a white Christmas, and I don't even know how long, like over 20 some odd years, it was like Donald Trump won the presidency, and this was like a sweet little thing towards the end.
We could say, now, folks, say Merry Christmas, and we could say it was, it was a white Christmas out without being regarded as racist fee.
yes, it's a white Christmas, and actually say Merry Christmas, and we could say White Christmas without being looked at like we're weird or that we're racist, and that's a good thing, Siege. That's a good thing, Anyway, folks, check us out, roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money, Rogue Money on Facebook, DTube, Steam it, Rogue Money on every single podcasting app known to humanity. Also, check out our sponsors, RemainCom.net. RemainCom.net, whether you need to get your credit fixed, you need to get a loan, you need to get whatever the heck you need to get yourself financially fit for the new year. How about a New Year's resolution of getting out of debt? How about that? How about saying, you know what? I'm tired of paying these ridiculous bills to these creditors. I'm tired of, in that endless minimum payment cycle. I'm ready to kick the bankers in the nuts. If you're ready to kick the bankers in the nuts, then check out RemainCom.net. Let these guys help you get to financial freedom. Let these guys get you out of the situation that you are in. RemainCom.net. You can fix your credit, get you out of debt. And if you don't have any credit or debt issues, heck, you just need some money to start up a business, contact these guys as well. They got 335 lenders that they can go ahead and get you the type of loan you need up to $600,000 unsecured, and you don't have to give your right arm and your firstborn child to get it. RemainCom.net. Also, guys, check out the Silverback. It is the most baddest ass, prettiest, sexiest looking piece of equipment ever. It is metal and glass, like a little USB stick, but it's made out of metal and glass with the Silverback etching, the screaming gorilla head on the end of it. Check it out. I love it. I've developed this with Mr. X. Especially Mr. X been cracking the code with his group. He's like Robin Hood and his merry band of hackers. They've helped put the Silverback together. 1024-bit elliptical military-grade encryption. That means the code is constantly changing all the time. Never been broken, never been hacked. It is a very, 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 very difficult thing for anyone to hack. So if you want to be like Edward Snowden, you want to have the privacy, the security, you want to secure your Bitcoin wallet on something that's way more secure than Trezor or any one of these other hard wallets, check out the Silverback over at mygoldusb.com. mygoldusb.com. Get your Silverback today. And with that being said, folks, the crypto school is out in full force. Classes are filling up. We're going to have more curriculum posted there soon, especially for this new year. We got new teachers, new students, new everybody coming on board. So get ready for that. Bixweir is there. Vin Armani was there as well. He's going to be putting up some stuff. I will be there as well. So check out thecryptoschool.io, thecryptoschool.io. Keep abreast on the latest and greatest of all the cryptocurrencies, and soon you'll be learning how to trade them as well. And so be aware on that. thecryptoschool.io. With that being said, CJ, what is crack-a-lacking, brother?
Hey, V, good morning. Welcome back, and Merry Christmas to you and all of our Rogue fans.
Yes, absolutely. Merry Christmas to all of you and everyone out there, and to all a good night. I'm out. Bye.
Just kidding. All right, take care. Hasta la pasta.
I'm just drinking some dark roast with some blended it up, Siege. Bulletproof coffee style. I blended it up. Some grass-fed butter and some delicious cold-pressed coconut oil. Blended it up in a blender. It is absolutely delicious. Exquisite.
Nice. Very nice.
Yes. Exquisite.
You need that kind of coffee after the exhausting holiday, right?
Bro, all right, man, I've done so much eating. I must have gained 15 pounds. I'm a fat lard now. I'm so fat. It's not even funny. Like I'm morbidly obese at this point.
It's kind of hard not to, right? Every time that you go, my brother makes this killer prime rib on Christmas Eve that was just absolutely wonderful. Slices it up and has some rare, some medium, for the family. And then my mother-in-law made this wonderful honey smoked spiral ham and all kinds of sides. So between the past 2 days, it's been nothing but eating and drinking. So,
oh my God,
lots of good stuff.
Lots of great stuff, Siege. Constant eating. I mean, it's time, man. I think it's time to go back to the gym.
Big time. Yeah, and I'm going to make that part. I'm not even going to call it a New Year's resolution because I think it's just a lifestyle change.
Yeah, you got to
do it. Get back in the gym. Yeah, definitely.
I want to be like Jocko Willink, man. Jocko is awesome. If you guys haven't listened to Jocko Willink, he has a great podcast called Jocko Podcast. He is former SEAL Team 3 commander, wrote the book Extreme Ownership, which I have the physical copy of the book, but I also have the Audible of the book as well. Great book. Anybody want like personal, professional development? Extreme Ownership is where it's at. It's a great, great book. I recommend everybody getting it, and I'm not getting paid a penny to, recommend Jocko's book. I just love the material that he puts out. One of the things he says so profound. It's like, dude, just work out every day. Like, why stop? I mean, you ever think about that, man? Like, why stop? Right?
I do, because there's a lot you can do, V, without even really going to the gym. Whether it's doing some sit-ups, some push-ups. Even just stretching out, just going for a brisk walk and stepping out. There's really nothing from stopping, me from doing it every day. So why not?
Exactly, man. I mean, these days I've just been sitting down too long, and people are calling sitting the new smoking. So if that's the case, bro, I'm like the equivalent of somebody who smokes like 5 packs of cigarettes a day or something at this point. Luckily, see, I don't have bad posture. That's the saving grace, because I was in the fitness industry like before, many moons ago, when I was working my way through college. I worked very many odds and ends jobs. I've working my way through school. I've done personal training. I've sold high-end electronics at a big box retailer. I've done everything you could, working my way through school. And one of the things I'm always mindful of, even though I'm like a desk jockey these days, is maintaining posture, and how important posture is to just movement, man. Because when you think about it, every movement begins and ends in posture. So if your posture is screwed up, you're really screwed up.
Right. Your back and everything. Yeah.
Everything, dude. Everything. Now I've got a little bit of hip problems here and there, and that and the other. I'm trying to get that fixed using the EGOSQ method. Anybody out there with lower back pain, I recommend you check out the EGOSQ. That's EGOSQUE or something like that. I don't know exactly how you spell it, but it has the word ego in there, and it's pronounced EGOSQ. So check it out. EGOSQ method is phenomenal for surgery-free back pain relief. Why am I saying all this? Because, Siege, we're getting old, Siege. Okay, we're getting old, bro.
We are. I mean, my gosh, you're right. I played basketball for the first time in like 2 months last Wednesday, and I was sharing with the listeners on Thursday morning. I'm not kidding you, but I was like lifting my legs to get motion going. I was popping up a lung. I'm like, let me lift my right leg into place. Let me lift my leg. So, yeah, your body lets you know in obvious ways that, hey, you need to get some more exercise, some more conditioning in.
Dude, totally, man. Totally. The funniest thing is that it's when did you start noticing the pain? For me, it was as soon as I hit like 30 or 31, dude. I just woke up one day, I'm like, ow. Ow, why is my shoulder hurting? Oh, my lower hip. And then you go work out like, why am I still sore? It's 4 days later. What the hell?
Well,
Dude,
I think they say when you reach age, I believe it's 40, that you begin, unless you work out, you start to lose a pound each year. So I think 40 is that magic point that you want to start ramping up going into your 40s.
Oh yeah,
and then keep that workout, keep that momentum going, to keep your muscles and to stay healthy.
yeah, big time. I recommend any guy, if you're in your 40s or you're about to hit your 40s or you're going into your 40s or in your 40s or you're in your 50s or in your 60s, you're looking about transforming your life. I'm telling you right now, do whatever the hell you can to jack up your testosterone levels. Go see a doctor, go see an endocrinologist, go get it on like testosterone therapy. And I'm not talking about the stupid gels or the patches, which are horrible and stupid and has massive side effects and doesn't do jack diddly to you. I'm talking about low doses of like something like testosterone cypionate, something like that. Maybe some, low doses of, you probably want to get into like HGH or something, because you need that edge. It's the fountain of youth, man. And it's the only way to bring your body back from ruin. It really is. It's the only thing that's going to give you the edge. Because let's be honest here, Siege. There are 1,000,001 things that are destroying the human body environmentally, especially the male body. It just seems like everything's targeted against the male. So,
it seems 1,000%.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you got everything in the environment, from the plastics, from the chemicals that is, even from the chemtrail spraying that is designed to destroy testosterone levels. That's what it is, because they don't want virile testosterone-laden men, because, dudes that are like that tend to stand up towards tyranny and kick the tyranny in the nuts, and they don't need that. Tyranny is pretty much run by a bunch of beta males all throughout history. That's what you can pretty much see, okay? The most benevolent dictatorships, if you can call them that, are those actually run by alpha males who are fair to their people, who understand the value of human resource. But these psychopaths like Hitler, I mean, come on. What a cuck he was. Jeez Louise. Anyway, moving forward, CJ, it is the most wonderful time of the year, except for 41 million Americans that are still living in poverty this Christmas, brother. And even though the stock market continues to set all-time records, just like we said, and folks, let's not mince words here. Okay, let's not mince words here, because when everybody out there in the whole world saying, "Oh, the stock market's going to crash, it's going to crash tomorrow," and then when sometime 2015 was the Siege, when I said, you know what, no, it's not going to crash. This bad boy is going to run at 29,000.
Right.
Get ready, stock market
going up. Over probably a year and a half that.
Yeah.
For the market just keep going up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now, so the market's up because it's fake. It's the phantom wealth machine, and the phantom wealth machine is running a hard body. And here we have a great article from our buddy Michael Snyder. Guys, if you're in Idaho, you living out there, you listen to this broadcast, support Michael Snyder for Congress. He's one of us. He's one of our champions. He is somebody that is literally, he preaches and he lives what he preaches, and he walks the talk, man. He walks the talk. So here it is on the Economic Collapse blog, where he's talking about 41 million Americans are still living in poverty this Christmas Siege. It's a big, big problem, and this is the whole entire thing. When we're glossing over the hardcore numbers of the economy, okay, we're glossing over the hardcore numbers of the economy, and we're fixating and focusing, and the president's guilty of doing this, fixating and focusing on fictitious numbers like the unemployment rate, fictitious number. Like the stock market, it's a fictitious number. Folks, you got to understand, and later on in the broadcast, I'm going to get into a little bit about the BS science, the bogus science on which central banking is built. So when central banking is built on bogus science, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics is going to put out bogus statistics. And then bogus statistics are going to be used by governmental officials to trumpet whatever achievements that they have. But there is no achievement here. And this is a dangerous thing. Siege, why don't you break it down a little bit, and I'll jump in as well. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look across the various states, New York probably being the largest, where there are many people basically see that the economy has truly failed them, where they can no longer afford the $2,000 months rent payments. So people literally living off the streets. So Michael goes on to document an article that came from The Guardian, and it just was very eye-opening in terms of what was witnessed when they traveled around documents a 41-year-old woman who, living off the streets, talking about how she pretty much had to give away her child because she couldn't afford.
Jesus.
She fell into the hardships of living off the streets, the drugs that are associated with that. Just the massive amount. And even in Los Angeles is another perfect example, where a state of emergency has been declared due to the amount of homelessness that is rising, and that's in conjunction with several other cities. And I witnessed this firsthand myself. I suburb, so I went into the city to meet some friends over the holidays. And I'm not kidding you, by the time that we parked to where we were walking to have dinner, I think we were approached at least 4 or 5 times by people tapping on the windows, coming up to the car, asking us to roll down our window for handouts, people walking up to us, people carrying around bags. I mean, it's very eye-opening what's happening across the states now in regards to, and it's even people that are falling out of the middle class now that are ending up on the streets. It's just truly remarkable what's happening in our cities right now.
It is terrible to see what is happening in our inner cities, because what's happening is the decimation of the middle class. You're having the decimation of the middle class. You have the very wealthy at the top who, using the wealth extraction machine that is known as, hold on one second, I got this phone call, I don't know who the hell this is. But anyway, who has this wealth extraction machine known as Wall Street, okay? And Wall Street is basically extracting the real wealth and siphoning the wealth that is coming out of the printing press, which is the Federal Reserve. It never makes it to Main Street. And granted, there are some manufacturing jobs that are coming back to this country. Granted, there is some stimulus coming back, but this tax bill is going to go some way into helping to put forth more jobs, and that's a good thing. And I'll tell you why, folks. Already, there are American companies in America that have been holding their nutsack. Okay, they've been holding their nutsack for the last 8 years or so under the Obama administration because of all the taxes and regulations. I mean, the destruction of the economy that this man has done in 8 years has been incredible. And now that Trump's axed the taxes, now you might not agree with this, you might not agree with that, but at the end of the day, you got to look at what's happening here. All of a sudden, many corporations are letting go of their nuts, and they're saying, hey, you know what? We got our balls back. The environment's great. They've already pledged tens of billions of dollars for business expansion and new hires. So this can go a long way. Now, all we need is an infrastructure bill. If we get an infrastructure bill going, we can start rebuilding the middle class. And Trump understands this, okay? And this is what is understood by those who understand production and the physical economy. We need to build a physical economy as quickly as possible in order to get these 41 million Americans who are in poverty, the 42 million that are on food stamps, the 101 million that are on some sort of governmental welfare, and the 95 million that are permanently unemployed. And granted, folks, there is some overlap, but at the end of the day, we have 52% of the country that is non-productive. And the way you bring them out of that non-productive status, folks, the way you get them out of that bracket of non-productivity is to create the type of environment that is necessary to create actual jobs, real jobs, wage and life earning jobs. And that's what's going to happen if we can get all this tax cuts going with the companies. Number one, number two, if we can get things going with the infrastructure layout siege, I think it's going to go a long way in helping this country. And it's a stark contrast, CJ. It's a stark contrast to what the left is offering. The left is offering a socialist solution. We've seen how that's been working very well in places like Venezuela.
Oh, absolutely. And the reason why the Fed primarily gets away with this crap is because the majority of Americans have no idea how money truly works and how money is created.
Exactly correct, man. Speaking of the Fed, we're at the stage of the Fed, bro, where the entire carpet, the entire rug, the whole thing is about to be pulled. Because, look, folks, look, what's been happening with the Fed over the last year? First of all, let me break down these so-called, the luminaries, so to speak, of the Federal Reserve and central banking. Okay. Before I even touch on that, let's just preface this period. Let me just preface this by saying this. Okay. the greatest time of economic growth, okay, the greatest time of economic growth in American history, okay, that greatest time of economic growth in American history was between 1870 and 1913. Now, I've mentioned this a few times, okay? Michael Schneider has mentioned this as well in this article that he's talking about, okay? But 1870 to 1913 was the greatest time in human economic development, especially within the United States. Why? Okay? Well, we had no income tax system. We had no income tax. We had no central bank. We had one thing, though, CJ. You know what that was?
Go for it. What's that?
When you don't have a central bank, when you don't have a collections agency called the IRS, you have massive amounts of growth. Okay? You have massive amounts of growth. And during this growth cycle, we also had one thing that was the taskmaster. That was the decentralized taskmaster that ensured fair and equitable trade, that ensured proper wages, that ensured proper economic growth and development. And that was, my friend, the classical gold standard from 1870 to 1913. That is how your roads, your bridges, your tunnels, all these things were built. These factories, the greatest explosion of economic development in American and world history, the likes of which were never, ever seen ever again. Okay? So the Fed comes onto the scene in 1913. Okay? And what do? They create a very, very toxic, okay, financial and market environment that only favors those that are at the very top of the helm. And you know, what do? They extended credit, they contracted credit, they extended the money supply, they contracted the money supply, and they played those games up until 1929, where they yanked the entire rug from the entire American public. Okay, when they contracted the money supply, causing the big banks to do margin calls. And when they did margin calls, everybody out who was leveraged to the hilt on margin were panicking to get their margins filled. They were panicking to get the heck out of the market. They were panicking because of the crisis that befell them. And all of a sudden, you have the stock market crash in 1929. And then we enter the Great Depression. Well, these idiots, okay, these idiots are at it again. Why? Because you got to understand, these central bankers, folks, they're not people that actually work real jobs. These are not people who create real businesses. These are people who basically just sit around and look at ridiculous monetary policy all day long. These are people who deal with BS data. Okay? BS data. Okay? Anybody understands this is monetary policy is not a precise or exact science. It's just guesswork. Okay? It's guesswork interpreting BS data. You might say to yourself, you might stay slack-jawed as to when you hear Janet Yellen when she used to talk. Most people get slack-jawed, like, how is this woman saying these things as if everything is okay? Like she's on a high tower, insulated from any sort of reality. Well, she's being fed BS data. So if the BS data is telling her, hey, you know what? Everything's hunky-dory. Everything's wonderful. Let's start raising interest rates, which is going to kill the economy, which is going to put us in a rug pulling, a carpet pulling scenario similar to where we were in 1929, CJ. I think you kind of get it. You kind of understand how this whole entire thing plays out with Yellen, with the Fedsters, because it's a BS science, bro.
That it is. I mean, you have these people that come from backgrounds of academia that probably never managed a budget, never managed a payroll, yet they make all these decisions that benefit themselves, benefit the banks. And at the end of the day, the government has no oversight in the Fed V.
Right. None whatsoever. You know, no one's audited the damn Fed. I mean, this is where Bernanke could stand in front of the, congressional hearings and say, he doesn't know where $2.3 trillion disappeared to. You know, to this day, the Fed has lost $9 trillion. They don't know where it went. I mean, that's a joke. We all know where it went. If somebody had the balls, the cojones, the backbone, the spine, the intestinal and testicular fortitude to go ahead and look under every accounting book that is in the Fed, they will find it. They will find $9 trillion. But this is how brazen the Federal Reserve is. The Federal Reserve is so damn brazen, they can say to themselves, oh, we don't know. We don't know where the $9 trillion went. We have no idea. It's ridiculous, Siege.
Yeah, it is, and it's very unfortunate because the people that go to Washington D.C. that are supposed to represent the people, and then you look at this reform that they pass, it really doesn't accomplish anything other than, keeping the illusion that they are trying to help the middle class, but yet over the last 8, 9, 10 years, we continue to see the massive amount of disparity that's there between the top 1% that continue to get wealthier, while the middle class just basically is fading away. V.
Absolutely, my man. Speaking of fading away, let's talk about real quick McCabe, Andrew McCabe. Why don't you break that down, bro?
Yeah, it's interesting. They're saying that McCabe, who many of our fans or listeners know, he's the one that the Democratic Party and secret money funding to his wife that was running for senator. Everyone knows that complete collusion between the FBI to undermine the Trump administration. And now we're hearing that he is set to retire by March because that's when he'll be fully eligible for his pension. Well, to heck with that. If there is crimes which are very obvious that that he did too with the FBI acting in his position, then we need to go ahead and prosecute him. And this is coming from the Gateway Pundit, that McCabe's retirement announcement comes on the heels of a major shakeup in the FBI. Ray just removed Comey confidant and suspected leaker James Baker from his top post as counsel. Quote unquote, Andrew McCabe, the FBI's director, who has been the target of Republican critics for more than a year, plans to retire in a few months when he becomes fully eligible for his pension benefits, according to people familiar with the matter. So again, there's, let's hold these people accountable. There's no reason for him to retire on government benefits when we know, in fact, that McCabe is a criminal that worked with the FBI on this witch hunt that has, how many millions of dollars have been wasted on this Russian conspiracy, Russian collusion? How much time and energy has been wasted this entire year, V, because of direct actions by the FBI and McCabe?
Yeah, the whole entire thing, this is criminal. For a person knowingly understanding that this is a false narrative, that this is a contrived witch hunt that is designed to undermine an elected president of the United States. This is criminal. This is not. McCabe should be behind bars. He should have silver bracelets placed upon him and put behind bars, CJ, because this is criminal behavior. The amount of tens of millions of dollars wasted by McCabe, wasted by the FBI, wasted by so many people in government on this ridiculous witch hunt based upon a dossier that even the wife of the person who was in charge of Confusion GPS, his wife has even said, hey, you know what? Yeah, my husband probably made up the whole entire thing of the entire quote-unquote Russian dossier, okay? This is blowing up in their face big time, bigly, in a huge way, Siege. And, I think the storm is here, man. I think the storm is here. I mean, Trump's talking about the calm before the storm. You have the political insider who goes by the name of QAnon, which I've been looking at some of his thing, and he seems to be incredibly legit, scary accurate, especially since that, he put out a post 1 second, and then 5 minutes later, Trump tweeted that exact post word for word 5 minutes after QAnon, kind of verifying who QAnon really is. This guy is no joke. These people are panicking. See, that's why there's something going on in the Beltway. And I think in 2018, there is a very strong possibility that many Americans will be greatly surprised. Siege, like you and I said in the beginning, brother, we want people in jail. You and I will not be satisfied. I don't think the listeners of this audience will ever be satisfied unless we see some big names go to prison, sir. Correct?
Oh no, yeah, we orange jumpsuits and handcuffs. V.
Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. Moving forward, but man, again, missing the point. Why is the UN giving almost 8 billion, that is B with a 8 billion with a B, of taxpayers' money annually to the United Dissolutions or the United Nations? What's that all about?
Yeah, we witnessed Nikki Haley at the UN stating that, listen, if you vote to to not back the U.S. in regards to our, moving our embassy, to Jerusalem, we're going to cut funding, which I'm fine with. Don't get me wrong, I'm fine with. And so across the media, we're witnessing, yeah, the United States should cut $285 million from its budget to the United Nations. And my argument is that, 285 million is just a small start. Why are we still giving them over $8 billion annually? Especially when you look at the UN and right. What do they really achieve? They're supposed to be the safeguards and the UN going in, the peace troops and all their agenda 2021 or 2030, yeah. Whatever they just revise it to, depending with the UN to begin with.
Right. My whole thing is that not only are we wasting $8 billion a year with these idiots, what the hell are they doing on our country's shores? The U.S. out of the UN and the UN out of the U.S. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. This is a governing body of people that we don't need to be involved with. This is a globalist. This is a Rockefeller, Rothschild created conglomerate of sycophants. At the end of the day, we have no business with the UN. Screw these guys. Screw these guys. We can negotiate on our own terms with the people that we need to go negotiate with them. UN's useless, man. It's completely useless. So, $285 million is a drop in the bucket, my man. A drop in the bucket.
Right. Absolutely.
Anyway, buddy, over the weekend, Julian Assange's Twitter went dark after some sort of a hint about Seth Rich, the dead, I would say, assassinated member of the DNC who died mysteriously, and he was the guy who was handling files for the Clinton administration. Siege, what is this all about, man?
Well, yeah, very strange things, happened, over Christmas, and everyone probably remembers that, Julian Assange has stated specifically that if Trump is willing, to provide immunity, he will provide direct evidence to show that, in fact, Seth Rich was the DNC leaker.
Yep.
Now, other things mysteriously have happened. The attorney's office that represents Assange was broken into by covert ops. Came in. It was definitely a highly skilled event where they went in. They taped over all the cameras, and then it was odd. And I'm not sure if it was some kind of a warning to him of maybe somebody knew of events that were going to unfold. But the U.S. Navy, the certified U.S. Navy account on Twitter, sent out a tweet, and it was quote unquote Julian Assange. And that was the only thing on this tweet. Now, so this tweet went out. So according to the U.S. Navy came back and said, quote unquote, this morning, an inadvertent keystroke by an unauthorized user of the U.S. Navy Office of Information's digital media engagement team causes the term trending Julian Assange to be tweeted from the Navy's official Twitter account.
Bullshit.
Now, how does that happen, V?
Yeah. Give me a bullshit.
How does an inadvertent keystroke happen where somebody goes in? Now, after this took place, Julian Assange's Twitter account mysteriously disappeared from Twitter. It was down. I don't know the amount of time that it was down. And then when it came back up, it appeared not to be the real account of Julian Assange. It only had 1,061 followers, which he has probably well over
millions,
300,000, right?
Right.
And then his followers changed as well. So he was originally following 4 people, and now it was 11. So something's going on with Julian Assange, whether it's they're afraid that he's going to release the final information that's going to be the death blow to the Clintons, to the DNC of what really transpired. Now, I have not been able to confirm this, But there's also a article that was posted in regards to another data dump. And this is a massive file. I didn't start downloading it today because it's 65 gigabytes of a torrent download that was titled WikiLeaks Insurance, and that was posted about the timing that this all took place. So it's going to be very interesting, to see exactly what's in this 65 gigabytes of information that was released. And I think it was released because something was happening to Julian Assange during this time. So, we'll just continue praying for his safety. Who knows what it could be? Were they going in to arrest him? Were they going in to kill him? Who knows? But obviously there was an attempt by the D-State, by the intelligence office to shut him down. Perhaps that tweet that came out from the U.S. Navy, maybe that was a good person saying, hey, this is going down, and this is an alert message to him to be alert. Who knows what happened? But I'm not buying this whole narrative that someone accidentally tweeted out on the U.S. Navy certified account, Julian Assange under quotes.
Yeah, something really stinks in Twitterverse and Twitterland. Here's what I think. I think this whole entire that U.S. Navy thing, that Navy Twitter account that just put out Julian Assange, I'm thinking that was probably a warning. All of a sudden for him to, and Julian, look, let's be honest here. Julian Assange was not a trending topic prior to this happening. It was not a trending topic. I don't care what these idiots of the Navy were trying to say. It really wasn't. So out of nowhere, the Navy says all of a sudden some, had a keystroke, an accidental, that's what happens, CJ. I have an accidental keystroke and I type out Julian Assange, or I type out pepperoni pizza. It's an accidental keystroke. No, you don't have accidental keystrokes. I don't know, man. You slip on a banana peel, fall down the steps. That's an accident. Okay? You don't have accidental keystrokes and type in the words Julian Assange in quotation marks. You just don't do that. I think somebody in the Navy was trying to tip off Julian Assange and WikiLeaks to let them know that something's about to happen. And maybe something did happen. We've known that there were multiple assassination attempts at his embassy. They don't want this guy getting out. I mean, he's been there detained for over 7 years. 2 directives by the useless UN has said demanded the UK to free him. And the UK, being the scumbag sons of SOBs that they are, I'm talking about the UK government, won't release Assange, won't let him budge a muscle. He can't get out of the Ecuadorian embassy for nothing. Okay? So we know this. So this is something's about to happen, Siege. Something's definitely about to happen. I think there's a strong connection. I think there's a strong correlation between Assange and Seth Rich. I think this is a reality that we're going to see play out in the next few weeks, my friend, because what is back in terms of quote-unquote a Julian Assange Twitter page is clearly not Julian Assange's Twitter page. Something really stinks in Twitter, bro. Something really stinks in Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, major wiki drop coming. You think you already talked about the 65?
Yep, covered that.
I guess that covers everything. With that being said, folks, Siege, you got anything lined up?
Yeah, I'm going to check in. I know Dex was traveling last week, but I'll send him a text message and see if we'll be doing a terror training. It's been a couple weeks, so if we can, we should try to get him on.
Yeah,
give us an update. Although I'm not sure what the market's doing right now. It's probably relatively calm.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's coasting, bro. It's just going to coast all the way up until the new year. It doesn't. Nobody's around. Yeah, nobody's really around. So yeah. Anyway, folks. Also later on today, at some point, I'm going to be launching my quick little snippets. Keep posted for that. It's called Guerrilla Insights. I've been getting tons and tons of emails. We want some more V. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to give it to you guys. I was going to wait until the new year. But screw the new year. I'm gonna start the party off early, and Guerrilla Insights will be up at some point today. I don't know at what time today. I don't know how long I'm gonna do it, but I got some two. And that's the thing with Guerrilla Insights. It could be a 5-minute clip. It could be a 50-minute clip. I have no idea. I have no idea. As the Lord leads, they say. As the Lord leads, as the Spirit gives utterance, my friend. I will be breaking down 2 very important snippets of information that I think is extremely important, and it's going to highlight some things to you guys. It's going to wake up. It's going to, get you guys awoken to what's happening on. So this is Guerrilla Insights, episode 1, coming your way at some point today. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing that every day. So we'll see how it goes. With that being said, CJ, we're over and out. Take it away, El Cuco.